Hello guys, thank you for joining us on this class, Investment Introduction to Investment. In this class, we are going to be learning a lot. I'm going to give you the rudiments of investing, how to invest in the stock market and how to make financial decisions or how to analyze stocks before you start putting your money in. But before we dive into that, let me give you a brief about myself. My name is Mbaike Umunna. I am an investment banker and accountant by profession. I ventured into investment banking in 2020. Yes, that was when I ventured into investment banking officially. I started investing in the stock market, and by God's grace, the result is what I'm about to show you in this class. So without wasting much of our time again, and well, let's say basically that is it about me. I don't think there's much again that you need to know, but in the course of this training we shall be getting to meet one-on-one. We'll be having a live section twice or 3 times in a month, yes, where we'll be discussing how to go about your investment portfolio management and how to plan yourself before you go into investment. So that is what we are going to be doing, and that's one of the advantage also you have from those that just got the ebook and want to start investing by themselves. And one of the advantages again you will get in this class is that you won't actually need to analyze any stocks, because every week we are going to be giving you stock recommendations that you're going to invest your money in. And before you do that, we have a personalized portfolio. Rather, we are going to have a personalized portfolio that suits your individual needs. So that is one of the advantages also you are going to get from joining this masterclass, right? And also how to go about navigating the US stock market. US stock market is one of the most volatile stock markets we have. It's one of the, I would like to say, is one of the biggest markets we can say, because the global market is measured in US, right? In US dollars. So that is why we are going to be focusing on the US market. Okay, and that is it about me. So what is investing, or what is investment? When you are asked to define what investment in simple terms is, what will you say investing is or investment is? This is very important, because if you don't understand the rudiments, or if you don't understand the what you're doing in the simplest form of it, trust me, you will actually be seeing it as a waste of time. So that is why it is important, before you venture into anything, you should understand it. You should understand the literal meaning of that thing before you start that thing you want to go into. So that's why we have to take our time to understand what investing is. So first of all, what is investment? That's the first question everyone would like to know, what investment is. I can assume that we all know what investing is or what investment is, but for the sake of demystification purposes, or for the fact that we are in this class, I want to make sure that we have the basic knowledge of what investing is, if you don't know it before. So investing it in the simplest form, we can say it is setting or putting your money into something with expectations that it will grow or generate income over time. Yeah, it is. Even those that did MMM, those that did all other Ponzi scheme kind of investment, they have an expectation that if they put their money here, it will generate them so amount of money within so period of time. So that means investment is always definite. Yeah, there is a definite period and there's a definite amount. So before you start investing the money in anything, you have to know the duration of that investment and what that investment, when you're supposed to recover that investment, which is the payback period on that investment. And of course, the very most important reason why you are investing in that thing is to make profit, which is interest in this case, right? So let's go ahead now. Why do people invest? Why should you invest? Which is the number one reason why you should invest is because you like ego or kudi, which is I use the 3 basic languages we have in Nigeria: Wazobia, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So in English, it's money. The very common reason why you invest is because you want to make money. That is why you are in this class. You want to know how to make money, how to make your money work for you, not working for life for money. Yeah, you know, we have people that works for life for money, while instead of letting their money to work for them. Of course, you must work to get the money, But if you get the money, let the money be able to work for you. And that is why when they come out at some stance, they will say the government is bad. Of course, definitely, I'm not going to justify that our economy is bad, right? I'm not going to justify that. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that even in the worst economic condition we are having, a lot of people are still making money. Then how are they making this money? These are the people that foresaw the future. Now remember that the result of everything you are achieving today comes from your past event. Now, whatever you are achieving today, that's what I mean. Whatever you have today is as a result of what you have done in the past. Let's take, for instance, if you're working in an establishment, they don't pay you before the month begins. They pay you at the end of the month. That means it's as a result of your consistent work or consistent coming to the office that leads to the payment of your salary. So before you start earning, you must first of all make the sacrifice. The sacrifice of coming to work every day for 30 days or for 28 days, whatever, is the salary you're going to be paid at the end of the month. So you don't expect to start earning without investing. So that is very, very important. So the first and most common reason why everyone needs investment or everyone needs to work is because we want to make money. That is the first reason why we want to make investment, or that's the first reason why we wake up every morning and start going to work, because we want to make money, right? This is very, very important. We should know that. Now then, another reason is you want to attain your financial goals. This is very important as well. Now, how do you attain your financial goals? Now, if for instance you are being paid, let's say the minimum wage now, according to some states have started paying 73, is it 77,000 or 73,000? But according to the minimum wage, you are paid, let's say 70,000 or 77,000 or 73,000, whatever it is you are being paid. How do you think you can manage this well so that you can grow? Now the truth is that in the current economy right now, it will not do you anything. It will not do anything. It won't be enough for you. It won't be enough for you. That is why you must sort out other ways. Fun fact, the money you are being paid every month as salary cannot cover your expenses for the month. Fun fact, I know it, and you yourself know it. The money you are being paid every month cannot cover your monthly expenses for the month, which is why you need other side work or other side investment, other things to do to equate that, right? Very important. So to attain your financial goal, so you need to start investing. You need to diverse ways to start investing. Remember what I said initially. The result of whatever you are achieving today is whatever you have today is as a result of your past sacrifice, as a result of the things you have done in the past. So investing takes time to grow, but with consistent or persistent and the right knowledge and putting your money in the right place, not in Ponzi schemes, get rich quick kind of scheme. No, putting your money in the right way will generate you a lot of money. I have seen people that I have worked with people for the time I started investing, and the people I have trained. I've seen people that are earning, then they were earning 33,000 naira, and I've seen them right now quitting their jobs for focusing on how to establish their own through the investment market or through the stock market. I've seen it. It happens. It happens. It does not happen overnight, but it's consistent. I remember then I was speaking to one of my clients. I told him, sir, she just attended my class like everyone is doing, though then it was a live class. I organized just a few students in school and I was teaching them how to do all these things, right? Let me also tell you something. Me right now, I have traded, I have been into crypto, I have been into forex, that's FX trading, but those ones did not work for me. So you must find something that aligns with you. So it does not work for you. We're still coming to that. So when she met me, she said she is just a civil servant, and she was just passing and she saw students trooping into this class and she decided to join them. I said, okay, so what do you want me to do for him? She's a civil servant. I know that most of this salary, before the salary comes, we have already taken credits for over the amount you're going to pay. So the month is, as the month is ending, you're starting afresh to start taking things on credit again to be paid the next month. I said, wow, so that is the truth. Then I now advise her, I say, see, how many children do you have? She told me she have 5 kids. How old are they? She said two of them are in the university. Two are writing WAEC at the moment. That was, I think, 2023, 2023, 2020. Yeah, 2023, 2024, right? Or something like that. So I said, okay, the thing is that before you start investing, you need to plan yourself, because you cannot say because you want to invest money, you want to put your money somewhere and you go hungry. No, who will eat the investment? Definitely must be alive to reap the fruit of their labor. And I asked her age or so, and we talked after a couple of discussion. I think early this January, was this January or March, something like early this January, early this year actually, when she chatted me. I don't even know that she's the one. She chatted me. She said, she just received. Okay, it's March. Yes, it's March. She said, she just received small amount of money from Zenith Bank, from her shares from Zenith Bank. I said, wow, that's nice. I said, how much? Small amount of money. Like, no, she says a small amount of money, but let me shock you. How much did you receive? She said she received over 200 and something thousand naira from her investment with Zenith Bank. I said, that's amazing. How did you do it? Say, after we had this course, she has to start. In fact, she said she opened up her savings where she was saving money. Open up her savings. How much did she invest? She just invested 300,000 naira in Zenith Bank, and she's earning a shares of how much? That was 2023. Yes, 2023. She's earning a shares of how much? 2023. They paid her, but she did not see the money like that, because when the money came, it entered into her account. She not paid much attention. She just used it to do other things. But this 2024, this 2025, when they paid her for last year dividend, she was amazed because the money was huge. Yeah, she was amazed. She was, wow. She called me and she was sending me her evidence of payment. That's nice. That's what consistency will do for you. I said, so what are you planning to do now? Do you want to sell your shares or do you want to still live it? She said she's living it there. She don't have anything. She should just find money and invest in other things. So attending your financial goal is very important, because it will give you freedom. It will give you peace of mind. Just imagine that you want to pay school fees and you have a couple of stocks that are paying dividends. We have a stock that is paying dividend in January. You have a stock that's paying dividend in March. You have a stock that's paying dividend in, let's say, June. You have a stock that's paying dividend in September, or you have a stock that's paying dividend in December. You can see that at each quarter of the year, you have something you are beckoning on. You have somewhere that money is coming. You will not be stressing yourself. So mental stress, financial stress is very, very dangerous, and it affects mental health also, because you will not be thinking wise. You may be making irrational decisions, because you are depressed, you are stressed, and all these things will affect your financial goal. So another reason why you need investment is because you want to increase your wealth. Like I said, you want to increase your wealth. If money was enough, people like Dangote, people like Warren Buffett, people like Elon Musk, people like Microsoft, Bill Gates, all of them will go and be resting. But money being money, you must always find a way to maintain money and also to increase it. Yes, because the very moment you have a certain amount of money, your taste on things will automatically change. Your taste on things will automatically change. You'll be looking for where to actually put the money, right? We are going to see come to that. We are going to see how the law of Parkinson's law, how it's what it says money, how it affects money, right? How it affects money. So like I said, another reason why you need investment is because you want to increase your wealth. You want to increase your wealth. You want to become the odogu in the society. As a young man or as a young lady, you don't want to depend on a man. You want to be an independent woman per se. For instance, I need a woman that I can also depend on. Yes, I am not ashamed of saying that. I always tell that to my woman. I say, you are depending on me, but I'm also depending on you. So we both have to learn how to do something that will complement each other. So increase your wealth. So you need investment to do that, right? And this is what we are going to be learning in this class. Now, the next thing you want to do, the next reason why you should invest is to protect your wealth against economic recession. Yeah, we will talk about diversification later in this class, and as we progress, right, we will talk about diversification of portfolio. Now, this is very important. The Nigerian economy is not favorable to most of us. Yes, especially the low income earners, people that earn just from our employment. It is not favorable. Then how do you protect yourself from all this economic against economic problem like the inflations and the currency volatility? Now, is through the stock market or investing in other foreign markets. In this class, we're going to be seeing how to invest in the US stocks precisely because it's one of the common grower of wealth. It's one of the best economy ever you can put your money. We have the UK, you can do that as well, but we're going to be focusing on the US because it's the global market. One of the reasons, like I said again, is to protect yourself against economic recessions, right? So to do that, we have to find a way to diversify our portfolio, investing in Nigeria and also investing abroad, so that if the economy here does not favor us, the one outside will also favor us. We have people that every month in Nigeria, they earn at least $200 as dividend from their shares of investment in other foreign companies, at least every month. Yeah, there are companies that pays dividends every month. Yes, there are companies that pay dividend every month. They may not be in Nigeria, but they will be outside. And there are companies that pays quarterly dividends every month. Every quarter they pay dividend. It happens. So in this class, you're going to be coming across all those companies as we go. Right now, another one is to generate passive income. Right, another reason why you should invest is to generate passive income. Now, what is passive income? Passive income are incomes that comes without you even working for them. Now, this is where you put your money and your money is working for you instead of you working for money, right? You earn a salary and you take a portion of that salary and you put it into an investment, and at the end of the period, it's giving you a certain amount of money. That is passive income. You're not working for it, it's just coming, just like the dividend. You're not working for the company, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting. The only thing you did is to put your money in that company, and the company pays you dividends every month or every year or every quarter, depending on how the company is distributing their share of profits. So that is what passive income is. Money that you do not work for. The stock market is one of the biggest wealth generator we have, and from 2000 we can see that it has fallen by about 10%, and despite this fall again, it has generated wealth for people. Despite this fall, it has generated over 250% wealth for people, right? So now let's see how it does that. Now we say that if you have invested $100 in the US stock market in the year 2000, and let's say S&P 500 in the year 2000, by now you should be having $595.5, right, as profit, as your capital. This is your capital accumulation and the profit accumulations you have, right? That is assuming you continually reinvested that amount, that's interest. You have this, right? So this is the value of your capital right now. Now, let's also assume that you invested the same $100 in the year 2000 in Apple, right? By now, your investment is over $887,360. Do you know what it means in Nigeria? You can press your calculator. A dollar is exchanging at the rate of how much? A dollar is exchanging at the rate of let's say 1,600 naira. Just leave it at that. Just compute this. You know what it means. I leave you to do that calculation on yourself. Now let's also look at how do I know which stock to buy. This is very important as well. How do you know which stock to buy? One of the common reasons why people opt out of the stock market is because they don't have the right education and they don't have the right guidance. Like I said in the previous section, like you being in this masterclass is very, very important. Why? Because you just took the step ahead of every other person and to take advantage of the opportunity. You know, they say knowledge is power, but if you don't apply the knowledge, it's powerless. So whatever you're going to learn, if you don't apply it, is useless. So we are going to show you how to do this in this platform, right? That is why the token you pay to be here is not going to, as time goes on, you realize that it is nothing compared to what you're going to be getting, because this class is supposed to be going for over 100,000 naira, but you got it at the rate of what, 10,000 naira, and you're already here. You'll be seeing all these things. So we're going to show you how to buy stocks. Like I said again, being in this platform, you don't necessarily need to do any analysis. We do the analysis. Like I said, I am an investment banker. I'm also an accountant by profession. So we do the analysis, we do this research, we do all the things. We give you stock recommendation every week. Every week. That means if you don't have the money today, next week you may have the money, or whenever you're paid, you can just go ahead and give, and you can ask personal questions, personal portfolio. This is the amount of money I have. Where can I put it? We can just address that for you. We help you plan your finances. We help you give you recommendations on where to put your money. Yes, so that you no regret. Remember, the aim of the aim of every investment that you're doing is to be able to sleep at night. So if you are doing any investment that you cannot sleep at night, trust me, that investment is not worth it. That investment is not worth it. So that is why any investment you are doing, you should be able to do that investment with peace of mind, with the assurance that whatever that comes from it, no problem, you accept. So any investment you will do that you will not be able to sleep and your heart is doing you boom boom, it's not worth your time. You don't need to key into it, right? You don't need to key into it. So you just have to make sure that if you put your money here, you'll be able to sleep at night. Not the one that promises you. I am not saying that there are not investment. Of course, there are investment that will promise you 300% return, of course. But if you put your money in that investment, will you be able to sleep? That's the first question you should ask yourself. No, it's not about the profit. It's not about the money that you're going to be paid. It's about how you are going to be, your peace of mind. It's about your peace of mind. Will you have peace of mind if you invest in that stock? So that is another thing you need to know. So in this platform, like I said again, we're going to be giving you stock recommendations and where to tailor your finances or where to put your money, and you have the peace of mind you deserve. It is not a Ponzi scheme. It is not a Ponzi scheme. What we are giving you is a legit. It has been existing. Even in fact, I can categorically tell you that most of these Ponzi schemes we are seeing takes their precedence from the stock market, but because they are not backed they are not doing the right thing. They just promise you that you will get this money. If you put this money here, you take this, you get 300% return on your investment in 1 month, in 2 months. Who does that? Nobody does that. Money does not grow like that. Money does not grow overnight. It grows over time. Money grows over time. So you just need to be patient enough and learn the rudiments or learn the basics of how to trade. So being in this platform alone is an added advantage to you. Now let's look at the stock market, a basic knowledge of the stock market and the stock itself. So what is a stock? What is a stock? That is one thing we should know, right? What is a stock? Now if you look at if you go through the, what would I call it, if you go through the PDF file of the node, you can see where we detail what stocks is. All these times you will see them there, but nevertheless, let's go ahead and still define what a stock market is. Sorry, what is a stock? A stock is a piece of a company that you have. So if you look at the, like I say, if you look at the PDF file we sent to you when you subscribe for this class, that's the complete beginner to professional guide to stock trading. We have this, you can see the content of the book is actually very much. We detail everything you need to know about stock. So let's start out. So what is a stock? A stock is a piece or a piece of a company shares that you own, like a piece of a small portion of a company that you own. Let's say you bought, let's say, 1,000 unit of shares from Dangote. That means you own 1,000 unit of shares from Dangote, right? Dangote refinery, Dangote cement, Dangote sugar, all those things. So that's what is talking. What's the stock market? Now, if you look at it there, what I said here, see, the stock market is a little big. It's a I try, because I always try to explain it in a way that even a 5-year-old child can understand, right? So I just like using this analogy, right? As we continue, you'll be seeing it. I say the stock market is like a big playground where children come to play and exchange toys. Only instead of toys, they trade small pieces of companies called stocks. Now think of it like a giant store where people buy and sell parts of companies. So just like that, you might trade stickers or cards with your friends. So that is what I am just trying to tell you. So that's just a simple way to explain this to the understanding of a 5-year-old child. So I believe that we all want to understand something in the simple way. So brokers are people that are licensed. Brokers are licensed professionals who are into the business of stock trading, right? They provide a platforms for us to use, or for you and I to use. Before now, the problem people usually have is, before you start trading, you have to go like to the Nigerian Stock Exchange in Lagos, or if you have it in your region, like the one we have in Onitsha, you can go to Onitsha. If you are around the southeast, that's the only regional office we have for the Nigerian Stock Exchange office. You go there and find traders and you buy stocks, you tell them what they give you advice. But right now, from the comfort of your home, you can sit down in your home and be discussing with a broker, and it will be executing your project instantly without you being present, without you even going to Lagos or any of this Nigerian Stock Exchange office, because of the interference between you and interference or interactions between you and the stockbroker. Right now, what is a public company? Now, this is also very important. Not all companies can be traded. So before you can own a part of any company, of course we have private placements and we have other, you can buy from other companies, right, that are not publicly listed. But the truth is that we prefer publicly listed companies because they are more secured, right? Your investment is secured. In the case of winding up, you will still get back your money, right? It's not as if the private companies doesn't pay back, but the risk there is much. They are not regulated like the public companies are regulated. Yeah. So publicly traded companies are companies that are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That is just it. They are publicly open for anybody to buy in and sell a stock anytime, anywhere, any moment you want. So that is what. So how the company get ready is that there is a laid down procedures for all these registrations to be done, provided by the Nigerian Stock Exchange market also to do, and the US Stock Exchange market, because we are going to be dealing more. If you need more of a Nigerian stock, that means you have to go through the book, you have to go through the ebook we send. That's where you get more of the Nigerian details of how to go about Nigerian stock trading. Yeah, you have to go through this ebook, because you have it. Being in this class guarantee you access to this ebook, right? So you have that. But if we are talking about what we are going to be doing, live sessions is mostly on US stuff, not as if we are not going to be touching Nigerian economy, right? But we are going to be doing that. What I'm saying is that mostly I prefer talking about live sessions like this in details, because of the exposure, or because of limited information we are having from the US, from other big global companies and the happenings around. So we'll be getting information from there. But if you need more details on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, you have to go through the ebook, right? So that is it. Now, how they are listed and how there's a regulatory framework they follow through, they pass through before they get listed as publicly company. Why do companies go public? Public go company so that any other person can buy in their shares and subscribe to their operations. That is just the simple reason why companies go public. Another reason why is to raise funds. That maybe they want to embark on a project, and a very big project, maybe expansion to other markets. They will just go public, and people will start subscribing to their shares and will expand, right? So that is it. Now, to start investing, you need to know who you are. Yeah, to start investing, you need to know who you are. And there are three key questions you need to ask yourself in when you start, when you decide to start investing. Now, these three key questions are going to be your guiding principles. They are going to give you the assurance that, oh, this is what I am going into, and for me to actually go into this, I need to be able to have this knowledge, right? So that is another thing you need to know. So one of the questions is you're going to ask yourself before you start investing is what is your level of risk tolerance? Yes, this is very important too. What is your level of risk tolerance? Remember, the goal of every investment is for you to be able to sleep at night. If you are going into any investment and you don't have peace of mind, trust me, that investment will not yield you anything. Because of what? Even if at the end of the period or at the end of the time, the investment later gives you, but your peace of mind is very important. If that peace of mind is not there, it is actually going to be difficult for you to even leave your money there. So whatever investment, whatever promises an investor is making to you, that he's going to pay you 300% returns on your investment in so period, in 3 months, in 6 months, trust me, if you don't have their peace of mind, if you cannot sleep at night, that investment is worthless. Please don't do it. That is my advice. The goal of every investment is to make profit, of course, but in the process of making that profit, you should be able to have peace of mind. And that is why we have that is the problem between that's the problem in the Yahoo business. Yes, in the Yahoo business, they were getting the money, but they don't have peace of mind because at any point in time, EFCC will burst in and they'll be arrested. So there's no peace of mind. Any investment, anything you're doing that you don't have peace of mind and you cannot sleep at night, please don't do it. Don't do it. So you must understand the risks in the business. You must understand the risks in the business. And how do you understand the risks in the business? You must know what the business is into. You must know how the business makes its money. You must know where and how the business generates money, and you must know what the business does. And you must know yourself. Can you sleep at night if you invest in this business? If you put your money here, can you sleep at night? That is the number one goal. You must know this. And number two is know your age. How old are you? What is your time horizon? So your time horizon is going to tell you whether to invest in long time or whether to invest in short time. Let's say if you are a civil servant and you have been working for over, let's say 30 years, and you have limited time, or let me just use age. Let's say you have worked for, let's say you are 60 years old, right, 60 or 50 years old. Now your investment is not going to be like a long-time investment plan, but it's going to be an investment that you will do that will just be earning you money for short times. Because let's say you invested money from let's say 2000, you invested in Apple in the year 2000 until now. Of course, you know that you can be living large. Yes, you'll be living large at the moment. But if you want to invest in Apple now and you want to invest for a long time and you're already 60 years of age, I don't think that is a wise decision, but it's a risk if you're ready to take it. It's a risk we're talking about. If you're ready to, if you can tolerate that, is all up to you. But your time horizon is very, very important. So how old you are in investing is very important. So if you're young, you're within the age of let's say you just enter the university age and university age, let's say 20 years or 19 years, and you start at the age of 19. Of course, it will be very, very important. It is very, very important because what you're going to be investing is on a long time. You see, because you still have time. You still have time ahead of you, and before you get to those age, you see that your investment has grown to the level that you will start enjoying it. And that's why you see some young men today enjoying their investment. You will see thinking they are into some kind of money rituals. No, these are people that foresaw the future and they start planning ahead. That they had the right information at the right time and they took advantage of that, just as you're taking advantage of it right now. And the key into it, that's why you're seeing their results like this, right? So let me just go back to risks again, because I just remember something. Now let's assume there is risks everywhere, whether you like it or not. The risks of putting your money in the bank is the interest or is the charges you're going to be paying. Of course, I'm not saying that you should not invest, you should not put your money in the savings account. Of course, you should put your money, is safe in the bank. But trust me, if you put your money in the bank, you are not going to get the money the same, because they will there are charges they will giving you every time. So if you put 10,000 naira in the bank, before the 10,000 naira even hits your account, there will be charges. So those charges will reduce your money, and that's it. Okay, if you now say that you're not going to put your money in the bank, that you want to put it under your pillow, the risk of the common people we refer to as thief, armed robbers in Nigeria will come in. So there is a risk everywhere. The risk of starting a business at the age of 60 years old is slim, is large, because business is full of risks. You don't know whether you're going to succeed. The next 5 years, you're trying to nurture your business and see how the business goes. So you don't know whether you're going to succeed or you're going to fail. So you're just trying to, if you're 60, by the time the business is have been operating for 5 years, you're 65. By the time the business goes to 10 years, you're 70. So you can see that the risk there is also much. So what you need at this point of your age, at those stages of your, in fact, what you need, what I'm trying to say is that your time horizon, your age also determines how well you do in investment, right? Your age, do well. I'm not saying that if you're old, you cannot. Of course, there are funds that you can invest in. If you are 60 years of age, what I will personally advise is investing in mutual funds, yeah, to reduce your risks, because what you need is money that comes consistently. You're investing in those things because they come consistently and the risk on those is not much. You can invest in the treasury bill, you can invest in the Nigerian FGM bond, you can invest in other things. Those things that don't have much risk. But if you're a young man or a young lady, you still have time ahead of you. You can plan, you can take a long time investment plan, right? We are still going to come to how to do investment analysis and how to analyze the stock market and start trading, right, on a long time goal. Now let's go ahead and see. We have this, like I said, the time horizon is very important. Your age is important in investing. Trust me, it's very important. You must know your age limit, you must know your age, you must know your time horizon, you must understand the stage at which you are, yeah, so to start investing. If you're a young man, like I said, a young man or a young woman, you still have advantage and you are coming across this course, you can start. The sweet thing about investing in this age is that you can start with as little as 5,000 naira. That's the sweet thing about the investment in this age. You can start with as little as 5,000 naira and you'll be growing your wealth. If you're a family man, you can start with as little as 5,000 naira to be growing your wealth even before your children grow up. Yeah, I have people that they don't even know when their children's school fees are paid, because the issue is standing order to their bank and the bank is making the payment. Where is the money coming from? Did they put the money there? They did not put the money there. Companies are paying money to that account. Yes, companies are paying money to that account. So the only thing they do is issue a standing order to the bank, and at the end of every time, or at the end of every year, the bank credit the schools where the children are attending school. I have seen people like that. So you can also take advantage of it, especially if you're a young parent here now, you can take advantage of that. So another thing you have to look at is, what is your interest? What do you like? Trust me, you don't want to invest in things you don't like. Yes, you don't want to invest in things you don't like. You want to invest in those things that interest you, those things that you do. What I do mostly when I start, in fact, what I do when I started investing in those things I like. Like I like computers, so I started investing in Apple because I like computers. I like Microsoft. I like Microsoft. I like HP because I like those computers because I use them. I like gadgets. Yeah, I'm a lover of gadgets. I'm a gadget freak. Like I love computers. Computers alone, I love them. So I started investing in those kind of companies. Then I start investing in those things I commonly buy. Yes. Dangote refinery is just starting. Dangote as a company has been in existence, right? So investing in Dangote, whether you like it as a Nigerian, whether you like it or not, you consume in one way or the other those products. So you invest in those things you actually consume, so that you know that at the end of the period, these things will still come back to you. That is the advantage of the modern age we are in now. One company doesn't make it all. So So you can take advantage of that too and start investing. So you must know your interest. Invest in the things you like. Don't just invest because other people are investing. Invest in those things you like. I was trying to tell you a story on how I started crypto. I started crypto 2018. I couldn't continue because I was, all I say, I don't like it, I don't understand it. So I just put my money there. My friend said, put your money there, you will just see it grow. I put money there. I think I put like 40,000 naira as of 2018. So before I know it, my money crashed. I went back to the platform. I could not see my money. That is it. I started forex trading in 2020 after school. That's because of course I've already started stock trading. So I just wanted to add another. I started forex trading, but I could not understand forex trading the way I understand investing. Even though all of them are dealing with charts and like all of those things, but I prefer, like I said, peace of mind. I used demo account for a while. I was making profit. I passed through the classes. I was making profit, and the day I say I should put my money to start retrading, of course, I lost the all. Out of 100,000 naira that I put, I think what I came out with was 30 something thousand naira. I made a heavy loss. So I have to just quit. I quit that. I said, no, this is not something I like. I don't, even though I had the training, but I don't understand it. So it's possible that even after taking this class, you don't have the mind to start investing. But do you know why stock trading is, the stock market is more safer than any other trading, any other finance platforms you can see? The stock trading, because it's a diversified portfolio. It is not a one class asset uh, uh, investment. You can diversify. You can put your money in the money market. You can put your money in the stock. You can basically put your money anywhere and you'll be safe, right? So depending on what you like, you can invest your money in it. If you don't like risk, if you don't like risk at all, if you don't understand, if you don't like risks, if you can just put your money in LGM bond. You can just put your money in the, you can just put your money in the, what do you like call it, in treasury bills. All these things, you can just decide to put your money anywhere you want. But the most important thing is that you're securing your future. Take the risks. Invest in things you like. Know your time horizon. That is very, very important. And the next thing we are going to look at is, it's a little bit assignment though, not right. So in this assignment, what I want you to do is, before this class end, what I want you to do, I want you to write down 3 local companies and 3 US companies that you like or that you know, not necessarily know, but you like, but that you know and are publicly traded companies, that you know. So list them out. Once you write them down, what they do, their product or services, write them down and keep it for yourself. We'll still come back to that, right? We'll still come back to that. I'll tell you what to do with it later. Now, after you have written down those companies that I told you to write down, I want you to know what they do. How does this company, ask yourself, how does this company make money? So when you go to the company, you just, how does the company make money? Of course, you get the financials of the company. You do a little bit more research on the company and you see the industry they belong to and how they make money. So you ask yourself, how does the company make money? Go through it and do your research, find out how the company make money. Now, when you do that, the next thing you're going to do is, what are their operating or business divisions? That we have business divisions and how they operate. What are the, what and where do they, what are the operations? What type of businesses do they render? So you can just get that from there. Then you now look at what are their primary markets. Are they globally traded companies, or are they just domestic traded companies? What I mean is that, is the company recognized in other countries? Is a company in other, can you find a company in other businesses? There are companies that may be domiciled in Nigeria, in the US, but their primary market is the Africa or is the UK. So something like that. That's what I mean. So what are the fastest growing parts of the business? What is the fastest growing part of that business? So you just have to know all this, right? So know this. This is just the basic. Like I say, it's an introduction to investing. Right? So the next thing we're going to look at, there are key times you need to know in the stock market, right? There are key times you need to know, and these key times also have been, I think I have done justice to that here too. I think I have done justice to that in our ebook. So I think I've done justice to that. Let's go ahead and look at them. Yeah, this ebook is a complete guide, like I told you. It's full with graphics and other things that will guide you through on how to invest in the stock market, right? So let's go ahead and see. Okay, now these are the terms I want us to look at. Let's start with, so key terms here. We have the market cap. Now what is the market cap? What is a market cap? Okay, market cap or market capitalization, that is, market capitalization is the total volume of companies' outstanding shares calculated by multiplying the current stock price by the total number of shares, right? That is just the simple definition of what market cap is. And we have all this. You can also find the PE ratio and the stock price. We have the dividend yield, and we have the industry language. So this is very important. You must understand the industry language, the common languages used in the industry, for you to be able to operate in that industry. And like I said, if you're in this class, most of these things, I'm just saying it because I want you to know that they exist, right? I want you to know that they exist. So if you're in this class, we're going to be giving you stock recommendations. Like I said, I'm going to be giving you stock recommendation. Here I and my team will be giving you weekly stock recommendations, because we are going to be conducting analysis on those stocks before we publish it here. And we're going to give, like I say, it's a recommendation. You are free to do your own research, you're free to do your own analysis. Of course, you're free to do all those things. But right now, the advantage you have against people that just got the ebook is that you have this class, and you'll be getting this stock recommendation every week, right? Now, we talk about knowing yourself. Yes, we talk about know who you are, right? Who are you? So now the next thing is know the risk, right? The next thing you're going to do is know the risk in the business, right? You should understand that there is risks everywhere. Like I said, if you say you're not going to save your money with the bank because of the charges, of course you should be concerned about the armed robbers that may visit you anytime soon, right? All right. And if you say you're not going to invest because you are not sure your money will be there and it will be yield, it will be depreciating. So there's basically risks in everything we do in this life. There is risks even from the very moment we woke up in the morning and you start reading. You don't know what is going to happen to you in the next few minutes. So there is risks everywhere. So know the risk. Now, know the basic things that will affect the company in long term, right? So let's take for instance, you invested in the Google. Let's take for instance, you invested in Google a couple of years ago, and the advent of ChatGPT has actually rendered some of the Google's features useless, because who goes to Google again to search? I don't remember the last time I went to Google to search for anything actually. No. I just asked my question directly and ChatGPT gives it to me. And you see, these are some of the things you should be concerned on. Like I said, in these live sections, I am more concerned about foreign foreign companies. I'm not concerned about domestic companies like in Nigeria. So I'm more concerned about foreign companies. So what I will say I do is we'll talk about, for most of our live section, that's what I'm going to say. Most of the live section we're going to be having is going to be on foreign companies and how we can take advantage of those things. So that's why I try to take reference from I use foreign example. I use foreign companies for example in this class. So let's say you invested in Google, and you see that ChatGPT have taken over the search engine, like searching, because nobody goes to Google again to search, because what you can just ask Google, search engine will just drill everything down. ChatGPT will just drill everything down for you, and you get your precise answer the way you want it to be. Right? So that is it. So you want to invest. You want to understand the basic things that could affect the company in future. Let's say car manufacturers. You can see that today a lot of car manufacturers are moving out from. Some of them are moving from this thing, are now trying to integrate or move into, what I call it, they're trying to now go into what we call EV, that's electric vehicles, manufacturing of electric vehicle, right? So those things that can also affect the companies, the car manufacturing industry, right? So you have to know this. Now you also want to know the regulatory laws that could impact the company. Yeah, if your company is the one that is highly regulated by the government, you want to know the regulatory, which law and which law will affect the company immensely, that it affects its operations. So you have to understand that too. It's very, very important. And again, I will still repeat myself, most of these things you don't need to be concerned about. I'm just bringing them to your notice so that you know if you're in this platform, you are already covered in some of these things, because you're going to be doing more research on this, we bring you recommendations, like I said, on stocks to analyze or on stocks to buy, right? On where to put your money, and a tailored financial plan on how to not go hungry because you want to invest. Of course, you must plan yourself, right? So let's go ahead and say, now you also want to know the competitors, right? I am very, very skeptical on industries or companies that say they don't have competition, right? Because everybody is competing, whether you like it or not. You are competing. You are competing with your stomach. You are competing with everything. So if a company says they don't have competitions, I don't think it's a wise, because it means, what it simply means is that there are no companies, or there are no people that saw opportunity in that industry, which is very, very questionable. Because if you say that there is money here and nobody is rushing to start to go into that industry, it becomes a problem, because nobody is seeing the potentials in that industry. So we just have to know that. So if a company says they don't have competitors, or if they are operating an industry that they have monopoly on, it doesn't work like that. So you just have to know the company's competition. So which other company sees the potentials in that industry? That is very important. And why is this important to know? It's important to know because you want to know where the business starts, where the company business stands in times of competition, right? You want to know how the business starts. So it's very, very important you also know that. Now, remember the companies we selected, I asked you, right? So if you had 1 million naira, forget I'm using 1 million naira, you can start with us. You can start with any amount you have. If you have 1 million naira or $1,000 right now, which of these companies will you buy? Which of these companies will you invest in right now if you have the money? So that is a question you have to answer for yourself, right? That is a question you have to answer for yourself. From those 3 companies, that's total of 6 companies you have. If you have the money right now, which of them will you buy? Which of them will you invest in? That is what I meant, right? All right, so that is it on this section of the class. In the next section, we're going to be looking at how to understand the financial statement, how to read the financial statement of a company, and how to invest, how to read the financial statement, right, of the company, and see what the company's financials looks like before we invest, right? This is also very important. We're going to look in that. But before that, let's come back to this. And this is one of my take way I like giving it out for free, of course. Now, you will also agree with me. You will agree with me that when you start making money, money always finds a way to spend itself, right? How? When you start making money, your taste on things will change. The way you look at things will change. If you are the kind that loves traveling, let's say by road, because you have started making money, you start entering flights. And in that flight, if you are entering economy, there's a level of money you get. You say no, you will not enter economy again. You want to enter what? Business class. So that is it. Money always finds a way to spend itself. But know this, you must discipline yourself. You must discipline. All these people you are seeing, all these big men you are seeing today, all these rich people you are seeing, they learn the art of discipline. They learn the art of not allowing their finances, not allowing money to control them. Instead, they control their money. So you must learn how to control your money so that it will work effectively or efficiently for you. So you don't just spend elaborately because you have the money, you just spend recklessly. And that is the problem we have with all this get rich scheme, right? Like all these Yahoo boys, that you see on the streets. Make the money, of course, but they spend it lavishly because they don't have the management skill on how to, they lack the knowledge on how to manage those resources, and because of the way the money comes, they don't have any regards for that. So you just have to be very, very mindful of such waste, right? So try to understand before you invest. Like I said, before you invest, try to know yourself, know the company you're investing in, and know your level of risk tolerance. These are very, very important. And if you apply everything you're learning here, you will see that you start getting results as many, just like every other person that I have trained has been getting results. It's very important, you should know that. So we have come to the end of this class. When you come back, we will now look into understanding the financial statement and how to read the financial statement before we start investing, or we look at how the company's finances are positioned right before we start investing. So that is it. And like I said, most of these things that I'm doing here, you don't actually need to do them. I just want to bring them to your knowledge in case you want to do them on your own. You want to verify whatever we're going to be presenting to you in this platform, right? So that is what we are saying. Like I said, I am an investment banker. I lead my company, Priceless Consulting and Associates, right? I lead my company. I don't like presenting it like that. So another way you can find me if you want to contact me personally is to go to LinkedIn and type Mba Ikechukwu Omonna BK. You see Omonna, you see me there, or Facebook or Instagram. I'll also share the link where you can just click and you get in touch with me as soon as possible, and I'll respond to you whenever you need my attention. So right now, we are going to take a bow and see you in the next class.